Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope wherever you are in the world today has been treating you well. In today's video I am going to be going over my Pan That palette for 2025 and giving you my second update, so talking about all of the looks that I did throughout February. Now I will say I am going to set your expectations extraordinarily low today, because in February I did actually post a short every single day that was using Glisten Cosmetics wet liners, so I wasn't using eyeshadow all that much. So I have exactly half the amount of dips as I did in January. I've just counted them all and I'm like, I knew it was bad, but I didn't think it was quite that bad. So I'm gonna get into it. I'm going to show you the progress that I have on this palette, but I just need you to know right off the bat that this is going to be a very quick update. So I hope that that is okay. This whole makeup look was posted a couple of days ago and the lipstick was posted a couple of days ago as well. It's the MUA Satin Sheen Lip Stylo in Agenda, because of course it is. So let's go over my Pan That palette for 2025. So I picked the Cosmic Beauty Serenity palette. This is how the palette looked when I rolled it in January. Now, as you can see, there are no pans, there are no dips, there is no visible progress on any of the pans really, although I have used this so much. And then this is what the palette is looking like now. So it does look very similar to how it was looking in my last update, due to the fact that I've only dipped into this palette a total of 20 times in the whole month, and some of those days I was dipping into multiple pans, so it was very slow. I like to include pictures of the looks that I created. That absolutely has not happened this month, but I am already onto my March looks and I will be taking pictures of, I was about to say all of those, way to overcommit. I will be taking pictures of some of the looks that I do in March using this palette to give you a bit of inspiration should you have it. So let's go over very quickly all of the shades that I've dipped into this month, and I'm not going to go over these like in order because I haven't dipped into all of them. My goal for February was to dip into all of the pans that I didn't dip into in January, because there were some that I didn't get to in January and I wanted to focus on getting at least one dip in those pans. And I think, other than, I'm just cross-referencing in my little book here where I keep a note of everything, other than Twilight, this is the only shade now that I haven't used even once. I will make that my goal to do in March, but other than that, every single pan has now been dipped into at least once, which I'm very happy about. So let's talk about some of the looks that I did. I used the shade Serenity twice in February, this one here, and one of this was a shade that I thought that I would struggle with because it's a slightly darker shimmer, and it is one that I don't think I'm necessarily going to hit pan on. However, this with Opal over the top, which I did once this month, dipped into Opal once in February, that was beautiful, just all over the lid and then blended out. I just actually used a little bit of bronzer to blend out that day. Again, I didn't take a picture because why would I think that far ahead to do that, but that with Opal over the top was beautiful. And because somebody suggested that in my last update, to use the darker shimmers with one of the lighter shimmers over the top, and that is absolutely how I'm going to use them, because that's how I managed to get 2 uses out of this month. Once I just used it by itself, like blended right out, and then the other time I put Opal over the top, and that was beautiful. So I also dipped into Oasis 4 times, which is the peachy shade. I love that shade. It's a very easy shade for me to use just on an everyday basis. Blend it right out, tap in ever so lightly. I do think that this is one that I could potentially hit pan on let's wait and see. Honestly, if I keep only dipping into the pans 20 times in a month, I'm not going to hit pan on any of them. So I need to be like working on this a little bit more, but happy to have dipped into that one 4 times. Also, River, this like dark tealy blue shade. This is one that I hadn't dipped into in January, so I wanted to make a point of dipping into it in February, which I did. I used it one time. I used it on like a big, not a big fluffy brush, but like more of a tapered fluffy brush, and blended it out to deepen up on the outer corner, which was beautiful. And one time I did a smoky wing. I can't remember what I did for the other time, but I used that one 3 times in February, which I'm very, very happy about because it's beautiful. It's just very dark. And I do actually feel like if I use more of a like flat liner brush, something like this, that is going to help me hit pan quicker because it's more of like a dense, very precise indentation. So using that shade as a liner was beautiful, but also deepening up a little bit on the outer corner absolutely worked for me. I used Lagoon in the same way, the dark green. I only used that one twice though. That's fine by me. That's fine by me. The darker shades honestly aren't going to get a ton of use because I've got very, very dark eye makeup on today, but I like generally a lighter, brighter sort of look. So the darker shades are going to be a bit more of a struggle, hence why I needed to focus on them. What else? I feel like I've gone all over my list here. Spring, the sagey sort of light green, I used twice. I used just all over the lid, again blended out. I didn't have a lot of time in the mornings, okay, because I was up so late a lot of the time filming my graphic liner looks. I didn't have a lot of time, so eye makeup looks were very quick, hence why there isn't too much progress. Make a Wish, the light lilac on the bottom row, I used that twice. I love that shade. That is a shade that I will probably get progress on very, very quickly. I feel like you can see where the brush has like picked up quite a bit in that shade. That is one that I find very, very easy to use. I purposefully didn't use Ether once. Very, very happy with that. I mean, I want to actually take some of that now and put that across the lid, but I won't. But just know that I'm thinking about it. Echo, the very, very light pastel blue, I used that once. And then Mystical, the black, again, I used once. And I used that as a winged liner. So my goal for March is to take more pictures. I find it so useful to actually like remember looks that I have done. I also know that you find it useful, or some of you find it useful, to see to actually see how I use these products and see how I can make progress on the pans, like how I'm actually creating looks. I know that that is a useful thing for you to have. I just didn't have the brain capacity this month to do that. But I will in March, I promise. I will get better at doing that. But that is my second update. All of the progress that I had in February for Serenity. I will be doing Project Level Up. I will be filming that at some point soon. That will be coming hopefully in the next week or 2. So there's a little bit more progress on that one. Again, it was a slow month. Please just let me off, please. I'm trying my best out here. I'm just trying to survive. So that is my update. How are you getting on with your Project Pam? Are you doing a Project Pam? Have you decided to give yourself a bit of a break and not do a Project Pan? Because as much as I'm loving it, and I love this palette, and I love progress, and I love making little lists and doing dots every time I use a palette, February was just a lot and I didn't have the space for it. But how are you getting on? I hope that you are also making some progress. I hope that you are enjoying it. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye bye.